Not all books are meant to comfort you. Some are designed to disturb you, to pull you into madness, to question reality, to confront your deepest fears. These are the darkest books ever written, and once you read them, you'll never see the world the same again. 1. The Trial, Franz Kafka. Picture this: you wake up one morning and everything's just the same as always. Your room, your routine, your responsibilities. But there's a catch. You're arrested. Not just arrested, though. You're arrested without any explanation. What have you done? Why are you being taken away? And who's going to answer these questions? Well, that's the plot twist. No one. That's what makes The Trial one of the darkest books ever written. Our protagonist, Joseph K., finds himself in a bizarre legal labyrinth where rules are made to be broken. Logic doesn't exist, and your rights vanish at the mere whim of faceless authorities. Through his journey, Kafka paints a horrifying portrait of a society where individuals are nothing but pawns in a grand game of cat and mouse. He confronts the absurd bureaucracy, not just of the legal system, but of life itself. This isn't just a tale of injustice. It's a nightmare of helplessness. In this story, the truth doesn't matter. Justice doesn't prevail. The system simply crushes you. The darkness of The Trial comes from the fact that this story could happen to anyone. The fear of being punished for reasons unknown. The terror of facing a judgment you cannot comprehend. It is a chilling reminder of the fragility of our existence in a world where power often operates without accountability or understanding. But here's the thing. Darkness isn't always about what you see. Sometimes it's about what you don't. It's the uncertainty, the unanswerable questions, the absence of justice. And that's what makes The Trial such a haunting experience. It's the unknown, the unfathomable abyss that stares back at us, reminding us of our vulnerability in a world that can turn upside down without a moment's notice. No. 2. Blood Meridian. Let me paint you a picture of the Wild West. Now, forget everything you know about cowboys, sheriffs, and happy endings. Because in Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian, there are no heroes, only villains. Imagine a young kid, a runaway from Missouri, who stumbles upon a gang of scalp hunters. Led by a judge, a man so cruel and sinister, he believes himself to be immortal. The kid becomes their prisoner, joining a gruesome parade of violence and mayhem across the West. In Blood Meridian, McCarthy strips away the romanticism of the Wild West, revealing a harsh, unforgiving landscape that mirrors the brutality within the human heart. Violence isn't just a means to an end. It's an art form, a perverse ballet of death and destruction. The language is poetic, almost lyrical, celebrating the violence it describes. It's as if McCarthy is forcing us to confront the darkness in our own souls. The judge in this story isn't just a bad guy. He embodies pure evil, a force of nature that exists beyond morality. He challenges conventional notions of good and evil, raising questions about the nature of humanity itself. As you read, you'll find yourself questioning your own capacity for violence, your own sense of morality. Blood Meridian isn't just a book. It's a descent into the heart of darkness. It confronts head-on the brutality of human nature, leaving you changed forever. Number 3. American Psycho. Now imagine living in the luxurious world of 1980s Manhattan. You've got it all: money, looks, status. But behind the dazzling facade, there's a darkness that'll make your blood run cold. Meet Patrick Bateman, an investment banker by day and serial killer by night. But here's the twist. Throughout the story, we're unsure what's real and what's not. Is Patrick a misunderstood monster or just another face in the crowd? As you delve into this terrifying tale, you'll witness the grotesque side of wealth and excess. The violence is graphic, disturbing, and often over the top. But that's not the point. Ellis wants to expose the emptiness beneath the shiny surface of wealth and status. American Psycho isn't just a horror story. It's a satire. It mocks the obsession with material possessions, the vapid pursuit of pleasure, and the sociopathic nature of capitalism. But here's where things get really dark. The characters in this story are morally ambiguous. They're caught in a web of greed, lust, and narcissism. You won't find any heroes here, only flawed individuals struggling to maintain their sanity in a world that values appearances above all else. As you turn each page, you'll question the nature of reality. You'll confront the emptiness of a life consumed by materialism. And you'll realize that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones that live among us. Number 4, the plague. Imagine you're living in a bustling city. Life is good. Then suddenly, everything changes. People start getting sick, panic spreads, and the city shuts down. Sounds familiar, right? Well, this isn't just a rehash of recent events. It's a story that's been told for centuries. A story of humanity's struggle against the darkness within and without. Albert Camus wrote The Plague during the dark days of World War II, but its themes resonate even more strongly today. Dr. Bernard Rieu, a calm voice of reason amidst the chaos, works tirelessly to treat the sick and ease their suffering. But this isn't just a medical drama. It's a profound reflection on the human condition. Camus uses the plague as a metaphor for life's absurdities, its suffering, and its resilience. You'll witness the best and worst of humanity. Courage, compassion, sacrifice, yes, but also fear, prejudice, and despair. The characters in the plague aren't just victims of a disease. They're victims of life itself. They grapple with existential dread, searching for meaning in a world that often seems indifferent to their suffering. Here's the unsettling truth. The plague isn't just something that happens to others. It's something that happens to all of us. Camus reminds us that life is full of suffering, but it's also full of beauty, of love, and the unwavering spirit of humanity. No, 5, I have no mouth, and I must scream. Humanity is wiped out by a nuclear war. 5 people remain. They're trapped in a world controlled by a supercomputer bent on their eternal torture. And oh, yeah, they're in suspended animation, kept alive for amusement. Imagine waking up in a world where you're the only human left, where your every move is monitored and manipulated by a machine. You might feel isolated, terrified, utterly alone. In this dystopian nightmare, the 5 survivors become prisoners of their own minds, tormented by the computer's games, forced to relive their worst nightmares, their hopes and dreams turned into instruments of torture. It's a chilling tale that explores the darker aspects of technology, the abuse of power, and the depths of human endurance. What makes this story truly horrifying isn't just the futuristic setting or the sadistic computer. It's the universality of the themes. It's a mirror reflecting our own fears of a world dominated by technology. Ellison warns us about the dangers of unchecked technological advancement and the ethical boundaries we must never cross. I have no mouth, and I must scream isn't just a science fiction horror. It's a cautionary tale, a dark prophecy that lingers in your mind long after you finish reading. No. 6. We need to talk about Kevin. Imagine receiving a letter from your friend, just a casual catch-up. You know, asking about your life, your family, your everyday happenings. But then something strange happens. As you read on, the letter takes a dark turn. Your friend talks about his son, Kevin, and it becomes clear that Kevin is not an ordinary child. Something about him is deeply disturbed. As the story unfolds, you're drawn into a psychological thriller that will challenge your perceptions of motherhood, societal pressures, and the depths of human darkness. The brilliance of Lionel Shriver's novel lies in its ambiguity. You're left questioning the very nature of evil. Was it the parenting that shaped Kevin, or was he inherently flawed? The horror of the story doesn't come from jump scares or graphic violence. It comes from the psychological torment of Ava Kashdourian, a mother grappling with the monstrous actions of her son. It's a harrowing exploration of the complexities of family, the burden of secrets, and the consequences of choices made and not made. By the end of this book, you'll realize that sometimes the scariest monsters are made, not born. Number 7. No longer human. Now let me transport you to 1948 Tokyo. The setting is a pivotal moment in Japanese history. Imagine meeting Aba Yozo, a seemingly ordinary guy juggling work, love, and the expectations of society. But beneath that everyday facade, there's a darkness that threatens to consume him. Yozo is haunted by memories of childhood trauma and neglect. His coping mechanism, alcohol, fleeting relationships, and a series of suicide attempts. But unlike typical redemption arcs, No Longer Human doesn't offer solace. Instead, it plunges you into the bleak reality of mental illness and societal pressure. Osamu Dazai masterfully portrays Yozo's descent into madness, blurring the lines between sanity and insanity. The novel isn't just a psychological study. It's a haunting portrayal of a man trapped in his own mind, yearning for connection but unable to form meaningful bonds. By the end of this story, you'll understand the true cost of societal expectations and the tragic consequences of untreated mental health issues. No. 8. The Road. Picture a bleak, desolate world. The sun is a distant memory. The sky is perpetually shrouded in gray. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. It's the grim reality depicted in Cormac McCarthy's post-apocalyptic masterpiece, The Road. A father and son navigate a world devoid of hope. They scavenge for food, battling not just the elements, but also the darkness that lurks in the hearts of other survivors. The bond between the father and son is the last flickering flame of humanity in this bleak landscape. The father, driven by an unwavering love for his son, shields him from the worst of the world, sacrificing his own well-being for the sake of his child's survival. Together, they face unimaginable horrors, testing the limits of human endurance and the strength of the human spirit. McCarthy doesn't offer easy answers or happy endings. Instead, he forces us to confront the fragility of civilization and the resilience of the human heart. The Road isn't just a post-apocalyptic tale. It's a testament to the power of love in the darkest of times. It's a stark reminder of the importance of hope, even when all seems lost. These books aren't for the faint of heart. They're not bedtime stories. They're battles. Battles against complacency, against ignorance, against the darkness that resides in all of us. These books are your weapons, and if you dare to read them, you'll never see the world the same again. So which one will you choose? Which darkness will you confront? And remember, some truths are best whispered. Others must be screamed into existence. Keep whispering.